Genoa City has always been a place where the past refuses to stay buried, and Thursday's episode proves that better than ever. On October 2nd, The Young and the Restless brings home one of its most legendary characters for a return that will shake the Chancellor Mansion, disrupt rivalries, and remind everyone that Jill Foster Abbott Fenmore is never to be underestimated. Meanwhile, over in the cutthroat world of corporate maneuvering and tangled romances, Nate Hastings will have to make a bold stand against Audra Charles, and the consequences could ripple far further than either of them expect. Let's dive into the twists, betrayals, and fireworks coming on this highly anticipated day in Genoa City. Jill's return. Trouble at the Chancellor Mansion. Word spreads quickly through Genoa City that Jill Foster Abbott Fenmore is finally back from her whirlwind international ventures. While Jill has always been a jet-setter with business interests spanning the globe, she's chosen this moment, and not by coincidence, to make her return to the Chancellor Mansion. The timing alone sets tongues wagging. Why now? Rumors swirl that she's got unfinished business with Chancellor Winters, and that she's no longer content to let Billy and Devon call the shots while she remains a figurehead. Billy, who has been walking a dangerous tightrope between personal turmoil and professional ambition, is blindsided by the news. Kane, however, hears the whisper before it hits the papers, and unlike Billy, he's ready. Kane's relationship with Jill has always been complicated, part mother figure, part adversary, part family by choice, and her return could tilt his fortunes either way. When Jill steps through the doors of the Chancellor Mansion, the air crackles. Dressed impeccably as always, with that signature sharp gleam in her eyes, she makes it clear she's not here to play catch-up or trade pleasantries. "I want answers," she declares, her tone brooking no argument. Billy and Kane both freeze. Jill, in classic Jill style, doesn't mince words. "I've been hearing stories about this company, about deals being made, about alliances I never signed off on. And I don't like what I'm hearing. Not one bit." The tension is palpable. Billy immediately takes the defensive stance, trying to charm his way out of the confrontation, while Kane keeps a cooler posture, his calculating nature working overtime. Jill's homecoming, far from being a sweet reunion, feels more like the opening salvo of a corporate war. Billy under fire. For Billy, Jill's return is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, he loves his mother deeply and has always wanted her approval, something that's eluded him most of his life. On the other, Jill knows his weaknesses better than anyone. She has no patience for self-destructive behavior, and she can see through every excuse. When Jill corners Billy in the study, she presses hard. "Tell me, Billy, what's your endgame here? Do you even have one? Or are you just flying by the seat of your pants, hoping your charm will carry you through like it always has?" Billy bristles. "I'm running things just fine. The company's stable, we're making bold moves." "Bold moves?" Jill cuts in sharply. "Or reckless gambles? I know you, Billy. I know when you're spiraling. And I won't stand by and watch you take this company down with you." This cuts deep. Billy is visibly shaken, because Jill isn't wrong. His recent moves have been impulsive, driven more by ego than strategy. But instead of admitting that, he doubles down, determined to prove himself. The confrontation sets up a major arc, Billy's desperation to validate himself in Jill's eyes versus his tendency to sabotage his own success. Kane's calculated maneuver. Kane, on the other hand, plays the game differently. Where Billy reacts emotionally, Kane thinks several moves ahead. Jill knows this about him, too, and she's both impressed and wary of his ability to charm her when it suits his needs. In private, Kane greets Jill warmly, speaking of loyalty and family. He emphasizes his gratitude for everything she's done for him, subtly contrasting his steady presence with Billy's volatility. Jill listens, but she isn't fooled. She knows Kane's just as capable of duplicity as Billy is of recklessness. Still, Kane's approach pays off in one key way. Jill doesn't immediately dismiss him. Instead, she promises to keep an eye on him, which in Jill speak is both a warning and a window of opportunity. Kane smiles to himself after she leaves the room. Jill's homecoming may throw Billy off balance, but for Kane, it might just be the opening he's been waiting for. Nate and Audra, a power play with passion at stake. While Jill's return rattles Chancellor Winters, across town another showdown is brewing, one with far more personal stakes. Audra Charles, the ambitious and cunning player who's made a career of aligning herself with powerful men, sees Nate Hastings as both a challenge and an opportunity. Nate, however, is no longer the man he once was. After being burned by Victoria and watching his ambitions nearly cost him everything, he's reevaluating his priorities. Audra approaches Nate with her usual mix of seduction and strategy. She makes it clear she wants him by her side, professionally, romantically, or both. "You're wasted playing it safe," she purrs. "With me, you could rule this town." But Nate doesn't bite. Instead, he surprises her. Calmly but firmly, he tells her he's not interested. "I've been down this road before, Audra. It cost me more than I care to admit. I'm not trading my soul for power, not again." Audra masks her shock with a smirk, but inside she's rattled. No man has ever rejected her so cleanly, so definitively. She's used to manipulating, to pulling strings, to always being the one in control. Nate turning her down is more than just a bruise to her ego, it's a threat to her carefully constructed empire. The rejection doesn't end there. Nate makes it clear that he sees through her tactics. "You think you can use people like pawns, Audra. But I'm not your pawn. And I'm done being anyone's." This leaves Audra furious. Her eyes flash with both hurt and rage, and in true Audra fashion, rejection will only make her more dangerous. Nate may have won the moral victory in the moment, but he may have just painted a target on his back. Ripples across Genoa City. As these two storylines unfold, the ripple effects begin spreading across Genoa City. At Chancellor Winter's, Jill's return throws the entire company into uncertainty. Devon and Lily will soon be caught in the crossfire, forced to navigate Jill's sharp scrutiny while managing their own agendas. Billy's standing is precarious, while Kane sees new possibilities opening up. At Newman Media, Audra's bruised pride makes her even more determined to tighten her grip on power. She may set her sights on a new alliance, or a new victim, to make up for Nate's rejection. For Nate, turning down Audra is a turning point. It signals that he's trying to reclaim his integrity, but in Genoa City, integrity often comes at a price. Will he withstand Audra's inevitable retaliation, or will he be pulled back into the games he swore he was done playing? For Jill, her return isn't just about corporate oversight. Longtime fans know Jill never makes a move without multiple layers of motivation. Could she also be nursing old grudges, or even planning a dramatic personal reveal that could shake the family tree once again? The emotional undercurrents. What makes Thursday's episode so compelling isn't just the corporate maneuvering or romantic power plays, it's the deep emotional undercurrents that run beneath the surface. Jill's disappointment in Billy cuts him to the core, fueling his self-destructive instincts. Kane's hunger for approval and power tempts him to manipulate even those he loves. Nate's moral stand, while admirable, could isolate him in a town where compromise is often survival. Audra's rejection, meanwhile, stirs up something she rarely allows herself to feel: vulnerability. And in Genoa City, vulnerability can quickly turn to vengeance. Closing beats. Setting up tomorrow. As the episode winds down, viewers are left with cliffhangers galore. Jill stands alone in the Chancellor mansion, staring at Catherine Chancellor's portrait, whispering, "Don't worry, Catherine. I'll fix this mess." The camera lingers, reminding fans of the rich history Jill carries with her. Billy, drowning his frustration, makes a call to someone off-screen. Who is he reaching out to? A partner, a confidant, or someone who could drag him further into chaos? Kane watches Jill from the shadows, a satisfied smile on his lips. For him, the game has only just begun. Audra pours herself a drink, her expression hardening. If Nate wants a war, she murmurs, he's got one. And with that, Thursday's episode closes on a note that promises Friday will be even more explosive.